Did you analyze communications between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber?
Yes.
Did they begin communicating around December of 2021?
They communicated prior to 2021, but in relation to this case and in relation to the cell phone, the CDR records, in relation to that extraction or her phone download, yes, 2021, December.
From January of 2022 to, say, March 15th of 2022, what was the volume or approximate volume of text messages between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber for that 3-month period?
Between the two of them, about 800 text messages.
Doing some quick math, that's about 11 per day?
Yes, about 10 or 11 a day on average.
So from March 16th, 2022 to the end of that year, so March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, approximately how many text messages between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber for that 9-month time frame?
About 600, 650.
Okay, we're going to do some quick math. Is that about 3 per day?
It's about 3 per day.
Now, to be clear, I'm not asking you if they communicated 3 times a day, right? Just
Correct.
doing the average, that's about what it would come out to.
Right, it's about a 70% decrease if my math is right.
Where does that data come from?
The call detail records between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber.
And because it's a call detail record, we don't have the content of any of those messages.
Correct.
They've been deleted from Kouri Richins' phone.
Yes.
They've been deleted from Carmen Lauber's phone.
Yes.
We don't know what they said.
Correct.
I want to turn your attention to February 11th, 2022. Did you analyze CDR records for Kouri Richins from that time frame?
Yes.
If you could look at Exhibit 3-6, please. Do you recognize this?
I do.
Is this a call detail record for Kouri Richins' phone?
Yes.
Is this one of those documents that you reviewed in your analysis for this case?
Yes.
Remove to admit 3-6.
States 3-6 is admitted.
If we could please publish that document. Okay, we've been talking about call detail records. Is this a call detail record?
Yes, this is the billing version of it, but yes, this is the call detail record.
Why does it say Eric Richins at the top?
He's the subscriber, the Verizon subscriber, so it has his name on it.
Now, when we're looking at the phone number at the top, this clicker
That
is not
pointer.
liking me, but I wanted to point it out. It says 1987, and that's the number that belonged to Kouri Richins, correct?
Yes.
So when we're looking at each of these individual calls on this particular document, how do you know if it's an incoming or outgoing call?
On destination, so there's, what is that, about 7 columns over where it says destination. There is it denotes that in there. And so it'll say incoming. If it's got a switch location on there like Salt Lake, Utah, that typically is an outgoing.
Does this call detail record show the duration of a call?
It does.
Where is that on the
So
document?
just to the right where it was highlighted, where it says minutes, MIN, right, the abbreviation, that is the minute, or that is the amount per minute of the call. Or sorry, it's in seconds sometimes, so yeah.
Is this duration in
This
in
is
minutes?
in minutes, yes.
Okay.
I apologize.
Did Kouri Richins make phone calls on February 11th, 2022 at 11:27, 12:36, and 12:39?
Yes, I think it was 12:27, but yes.
I might have said the wrong minute.
It's okay, yeah.
Did you determine who these calls were made to?
I did.
How did you do that?
I Googled the numbers.
Okay, and who do those numbers come back to?
Those are IRS numbers.
So on those 3 occasions, Kouri Richins was calling the IRS.
Correct.
Still talking about, thank you, Scott, for that. Still talking about February 11th of 2022. Did you analyze communications or CDR records for Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber from that day?
Yes,
And did they communicate that day?
they did.
And do you know that from the CDR data?
Yes.
For February 11th, 2022, do you have location data related to Carmen Lauber's cell tower use on that day?
Yes, from her device, yes.
And did that come from the call detail records?
Yes.
Scott, if you could show the witness exhibit 3-8D, sorry, 38D. If you could zoom out just a little bit so that we can see the whole.
We can. It's that screen.
Oh, it's my screen. I see. Everyone else can see the whole thing. Okay. Do you recognize this?
I do.
Did you help create this?
I did.
And did you do that using the CDR data we've been talking about?
Correct. I provided the call detail information to the graphic designer that created this exhibit.
Does exhibit 3-8D accurately depict the raw data that you analyzed?
Yes.
Move to admit 3-8D.
States 3-8 Delta is admitted.
If we could please publish. So what are we looking at here? Describe for the jury. And if it's easier for you to step down, you can. But what's at the top?
You know what? Yeah, maybe I will step down actually.
Because I have this clicker, but maybe it will
Gotcha.
work better for you.
It's
You can try to use this. It's just a little.
I'd like to have that work. That does not work.
Glad it wasn't just
Mr.
you.
Kotrodimos, would you tap that mic, see if it's working? Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, go ahead and describe what we're looking at here.
Right. Well, what we're looking at is a representation of the call detail records that Ms. Shervinick mentioned. What you have on the right-hand side is going to be the text communications between Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber for February 11th, 2022. There's just a photo so you know whose device we're referring to. A photo of Ms. Richins, a photo of Ms. Lauber. The blue bubble with the 3 dots indicates that this is a text message, and then the arrow is going to depict which direction that calls. So, for instance, the very first one at 3:22:44 is an outgoing message from Ms. Richins to Ms. Lauber at that time. And so these are, on the right-hand side, these are going to come up so that you can see when they when the two communicated, the volume of the communication, and then also the direction. Okay. On the left-hand side is a representation of essentially the Davis County and Salt Lake County Valley areas, and you're going to see locations pop up on these on this map as we move through the record chronologically. What those, for instance, there you go. Thanks, Scott. So this is a tower location. It's pointing to the location of the tower. That's important, not the device, but the tower of that Ms. Lauber device is utilizing at 4:11 p.m., for instance. Okay. Mr. Crozier's record was also populated into this as well. And at the same time, at 4:11 p.m., Mr. Crozier is pointing towards a tower location in the Davis County area. So you know which tower their devices are using. On the left-hand side, these are going to move. And what that depicts is the movement of the device as they reacquire different towers. Okay? And then on the right-hand side, as we go through the slides, it's going to start populating. So Scott, you can start populating. So at 4:11, this represents a phone or a communication between Ms. Lauber and Mr. Crozier, and this is their respective locations. You can see on the right-hand side through the 4 o'clock and the 5 o'clock hour, beginning in the 5 o'clock hour, Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber continue to communicate via text. At 5:05, Ms. Lauber is still in the Heber Valley area, and that picture that you just saw was a photo from that time frame that was recovered from Ms. Lauber's cell phone device. All right, so you can see at 5:05, Ms. Lauber is now, her device is now hitting on a tower in the Provo Canyon area out near the reservoir, and Mr. Crozier's device is using a tower at 5:20 p.m. up in the Davis County area. And on the right-hand side, you're going to see Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber continue to communicate with one another. And Ms. Lauber's device is traveling down Provo Canyon and into the Utah County area. That device is now heading into roughly the Utah County area. It's utilizing towers in those locations. And eventually it's going to move north. And you can see Mr. Crozier's device has now jumped significantly. I want to explain this to you, the jury, because this is important. Mr. Crozier's carrier is T-Mobile. Okay, so his carrier does not provide location data for these records for text. It's only calls. So the only time Mr. Crozier's location is going to appear to change is when his device is utilizing a tower for a call. Ms. Lauber's was more detailed. This isn't all of every single pinpoint of every single tower, because every single text she made utilized a tower, but for the sake of not cluttering this up with a bunch of repeats on top of each other, you can assume that from the previous point to the next point, she was utilizing the tower before it. So she was utilizing the tower near the reservoir for several texts, and then now she's using this one in the Utah County area. All right, Scott. Yep, so Mr. Crozier's device is now moved a little bit farther south and utilizing a tower there. In the 6 o'clock hour, Ms. Lauber and Ms. Richins are communicating via text. And Ms. Lauber is now arriving on a tower at or near the area of, it's in Draper, Utah, near the area of a Maverick store that's there. Mr. Crozier is heading in the same general direction, utilizing a tower in the same area. You can see on the right-hand side, Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber are continuing to communicate via text. And then at 7:21, we have Mr. Crozier and Ms. Lauber utilizing the same tower. They're not talking to each other, but they are utilizing the same tower near that Draper location. And this is that location. So on the left-hand side, you can see there Mr. Crozier and Ms. Lauber at 7:21 are making their respective communications. Their devices are using this tower, which is located across the freeway from this Draper, from this Maverick store in Draper, right off the freeway. Ms. Lauber and Ms. Richins continue to communicate into the 7 o'clock hour. This photo was recovered from Ms. Lauber's phone download, depicting her with another woman during this time. There's another photo. And by 8:20, Ms. Lauber's device is now moving south and utilizing towers south of that Draper location. And by 8:47, Mr. Crozier has made or received a phone call, because we know that's the only records his denote towers, and he's moving back north towards the Davis County area. And then Ms. Lauber by 8:56 is utilizing a tower in the Heber Valley area. Ms. Lauber remains in the Heber Valley area, and then on the right-hand side, sorry, Scott, but if you can go back one slide, Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber continue to communicate into the 9 o'clock hour via text. So from 3:42 to 9:02, the defendant, Ms. Lauber, communicated 34 times via text. During the same time, Ms. Lauber and Mr. Crozier communicated 50 times via text and 6 times via voice call.
Did you also look at communications from February 11th, 2022 between Carmen Lauber and Robert Crozier?
Yes.
Did they communicate on that day?
Yes.
And is that information from the call detail records?
Yes.
Scott, if you could show the witness Exhibit 3-33D. Do you recognize this?
I do.
Similar to the last exhibit, something that you helped to create
Yes.
and using the call detail records that you were just describing?
Yes.
Does Exhibit 3-33D accurately depict the raw data that you viewed in this case?
Yes.
Move to admit 3-33D.
Your Honor, no objection. If the following testimony is going to be similar to the last one, perhaps we can have some questions. I think we all understand where they're traveling and what it means now, just to move things along.
3-33D is admitted. Would you like to publish?
Yes, please. Okay, so similar to the last exhibit that we looked at, is this one laid out the same way?
It is. Yes.
And the last exhibit was depicting communications between Carmen Lauber and Kouri Richins, and this one is between Carmen Lauber and Robert Crozier. Is that correct?
Correct.
Otherwise, the different indicators, the bubbles, the arrows, those things remain the same as the previous exhibit?
Yes.
The map that we're looking at, the area of the Salt Lake Valley remains the same?
Yes.
And then similarly, as we see the different pictures of the people moving, that is the cell phone towers that their device is utilizing at those different times.
Correct.
Scott, if we could move through this exhibit, and Mr. Kotrodimos, if there's anything that you want to note regarding the communications between Robert Crozier and Carmen Lauber.
Right. I think if we just, for the sake of time, like Mr. Ramos just said, we can just slowly click through those, Scott. And I can just describe to the jury what they're saying. It's the Miss Lauber and Mr. Crozier are communicating at 11 p.m., almost noon, and then into the 5 o'clock hour. And then again, you see Miss Lauber's device move out of the Heber Valley area into the Utah County area, where it will ultimately end up in the south end of the Salt Lake County area, and I believe utilize a tower at or near the Draper once again. And Mr. Crozier's device is moving south out of the Davis County area once more. They're located in at or near the exact same location for a period of time, and then they return. Mr. Crozier returns back to the Davis County area, and Miss Lauber returns back to the Heber Valley area. Yeah, there's another. That's that representation of that 721 phone call. Yep.
Thank you, Scott. To February 26th of 2022. Did you analyze communications between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber on that day?
Yes.
Scott, if we could show Mr. Kotrodimos 3-16D. Do you recognize this?
I do.
Did you help create this?
I did.
Is this using the CDR data that you analyzed for this date?
Yes, this is essentially the same type of exhibit that was created for February 11th.
Does Exhibit 3-16D accurately depict the raw data that you viewed for February 26th?
It does.
Move to admit 3-16D, please,
No objection.
States 3-16D is admitted.
and publish to the jury, please. So we saw an exhibit like this before for
Yes.
February 11th.
Yes, we did.
Are we looking at information now pertaining to February 26th?
We are on this. This exhibit is text communication between Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber on that day.
And similar map of the same area?
Yes.
Arrows denoting who sent the message?
Yes. The times they were sent and received and direction, yes.
Now, these pictures are kind of small, but similar to the last exhibit from February 11th, Ms. Richins is denoted with the red background, is that correct?
Correct. She's on the left side there.
And Ms. Lauber is denoted with the green background?
Correct.
And then we also see Robert Crozier on these exhibits, and he's in the yellow background, is that correct?
Yes, he will come up. There he is. He'll come up on the map there on the left-hand side.
And again, Scott, if we could move through this exhibit, and Mr. Kotrodimos, if you could describe what we're seeing as we go through this
Sure.
process for February 26th.
Sure. On the right-hand side, similar to the other day, there was text communications between Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber through the 2 o'clock hour. It picked back up in the 5 p.m. hour. And at some point during the 5 p.m. hour, Ms. Lauber's device started utilizing towers in those same locations from the previous day. Provo Canyon, Utah County area, traveling north until it finally stopped in the area of the southern end of Salt Lake County. Same thing with Mr. Crozier's device, beginning once again in Davis County and moving south and utilizing towers along the way. So Ms. Lauber is now on the left-hand side. You can see by 7 p.m. or so, she is utilizing towers back in Provo Canyon, heading back to the Heber Valley area where she ultimately ends up. Mr. Crozier has returned back into the general area of the Davis County area by 8 p.m. And then you saw all the communications between Ms. Richins and Ms. Lauber, 71 texts between 2:25 p.m. and 10:33 p.m. that day. And Mr. Crozier and Ms. Lauber, 65 texts and 3 phone calls.
Now, similar to February 11th of 2022, did you look at the communications between Carmen Lauber and Robert Crozier for February 26th of 2022?
Yes.
If we could show Mr. Kotrodimos 3-34D, please.
Excuse me.
Do you recognize this?
I do.
Is this an exhibit that you helped create?
It is.
And does 3-34D accurately depict the raw data that you analyzed for that date, February 26th?
It does.
Move to admit 3-34D
States 3-34D is admitted.
and publish to the jury, please. Okay. We've seen one of these before.
Yes, we have.
We know the data that's on here. If we could, Scott, move through this, Mr. Kotrodimos, as you just described.
Yeah, so there's the 4:01 p.m. Call from the previous slide. Mr. Crozier is in Davis County. Ms. Lauber is in the Heber Valley area. To the right, those are the communications between the two. There's texts and some phone calls. You can see the date stamps next to those. Essentially, what this exhibit shows is the other side of that communication or that incident or event between Ms. Lauber and Ms. Crozier, Mr. Crozier and Ms. Lauber. Sorry. The two devices appear to travel in the same direction until they come to the same generalized location, utilizing those towers, and then return back to their respective starting points.
And that location that they're meeting up at, same as February 11th, 2022?
Yes, it's consistent with that, with the Draper area near that Maverick.
Thank you, Scott. Did you